Welcome to the Totally Honest Cooking Show where anyone can cook, especially you. I'm Mark. Today we are making magic cookie bars. They're my favorite holiday cookie thing. So in front of me we have a cup and a half of graham cracker crumbs. You can either buy these pre-made or you can make your own. I just crushed a box of graham crackers using a food processor. You can just use a rolling pin. I've done it in the past. I got 6 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips and 3.5 ounces of sweetened coconut flakes. I've also got 1 cup of nuts chopped. These are walnuts because I like walnuts. And we have a can of sweetened condensed milk. This, I believe, was originally an Eagle brand recipe, if I were to guess, just because the written version of it from my mother says Eagle brand sweetened condensed milk. You can use whatever kind of sweetened condensed milk you want, unless they send me money. And then I will say, Eagle brand. My family's trusted it for generations. But until they send me money, buy whatever you want. Anyway, we're going to start with a stick of butter. That's half a cup of butter. And we're going to heat it up. You can go medium. I'm going to go kind of medium low because it's been a long time since I've made this. And while that stick of butter is melting, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees. And we're just going to let this butter melt. Okay, so this could get kind of interesting. It's supposed to be evenly dispersed, but I don't know how to evenly disperse liquid butter. So we're just gonna say that that's good and call it a day, I guess. I don't know. Again, we're just gonna do this together because this kind of makes me anxious, but you know, what can you do? Okay, so this is my cup and a half of graham cracker crumbs. Recipe says to sprinkle evenly. We're just going to commence to sprinkling. And then, if it doesn't look right, I've got I think it's a cheese knife. We're going to use that as a trowel, because I don't have one of those inverted spatula things that look like a trowel. We're just going to assume that that's how you do this appropriately. I don't know. So we're just going to try to distribute evenly. Ooh. Every now and then, one good thing about cooking is that it rewards you almost instantly in many cases. And this appears to be working. And it's very gratifying when you think of something stupid. Like, I'll use my cheese trowel. And it works. We'll say this is close enough. It looks okay-ish. Okay, after that, our recipe says to pour the sweetened condensed milk evenly over the top. I've always loved the way this stuff looks, like since I was a child. Gonna go ahead and drizzle. Or, in this case, pour. Come on, can you drizzle? I would prefer if you drizzled. It's so viscous. It seems to be working now. The trick seems to be to waggle. So I'm waggling. I'm going to employ my spatula. Ew. That was not evenly dispersed. That's okay. I'm going to try my trowel method again. See if that works. If you get stuck, and you might, because it's sticky, the trick seems to be little nudges. Don't go for big nudges because it'll pull up the graham cracker. And that's probably okay because it's all mixing together anyway. But you don't want to end up with big bald patches like that, see? So, nudge, 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 tilt, nudge. Okay, there we go. Recipe calls to sprinkle everything else over the top, but I've been winging it a little bit here, as we can obviously tell. So I'm gonna take my mix-ins and I'm gonna pour them all together, and I'm gonna see if that allows for a more mixed spread. I guess that depends on how mixed up you get it in this little bowl that I'm throwing it in from. But yeah, this was always my favorite Christmas cookie. Okay, so we're just gonna grab handfuls and we're gonna run them over the top. Okay, now the recipe says to push it down with a spoon. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just kind of rearranging a little bit, trying to make sure that it's even and that we're fully covered. And it looks like we are. See, I was anxious about this a little bit because I was afraid that once I saw the waterfall of sweetened condensed milk, I was a little worried, but it looks like we're back on track. It looks like everything's fine. So now we're gonna stick it in our 350-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, if my memory serves. And while it's cooking for that 25 to 30 minutes, I'm going to tear into that sweetened condensed milk over there. All right. I'll see ya. Looks pretty good. I feel like the chips could have melted a little bit more, but we're starting to get charring. So we're going to pull it, we're going to let it cool, then we're going to cut it into bars. Oh, we've given it a little time to cool. It's still a little warm. We're going to try it anyway because I like to just tear into these. And we're just going to cut ourselves out a little bar. It might be too early yet. We'll see if I get it out in one piece. Sometimes, if you do it too early, you don't get the graham cracker. Yep, pretty good. Okay. So this is a magic cookie bar. Chocolate, nuts, coconut, graham cracker. Kind of gooey. At least if you eat it while it's still warm. It does kind of fall apart quickly when it's still warm. I'm just going to tear into it while talking to you. I do recommend making these for whatever holiday you happen to celebrate in the winter, if any at all. Next week we'll do fudge for New Year's. Like, subscribe, click the little bell. Remember, anybody can cook, especially you.